Welcome everyone to Songwriter Spotlight. My name is Sonia and I'm your host for this evening. We are here at the West Tennessee Delta Heritage Center in Brownsville, Tennessee, where our mission is to preserve and promote West Tennessee's music. I know you're going to enjoy tonight's guest. We have singer-songwriter Cecil Yancy with us. He's a great storyteller, as you're about to find out. Cecil, thank you so much for driving up from Memphis this evening to be with us.
Thank you so much, Sonia. I appreciate the invite, and it's my pleasure to come up here to Brownsville, Tennessee, and to spread some joy up this way.
Tell me who Cecil Yancy is.
Cecil Yancy. Oh my goodness, what a complex subject. I grew up on Sand Mountain, Alabama, and that's a great area that a lot of musicians came from. The Louvin brothers came from Sand Mountain. Vestal Goodman of the Singing Goodmans came from Sand Mountain. And from the same county, the group Alabama. And so a lot of these folks got their training in church, and that's where I got my training, was in church as a young boy.
What age were you when you started to really take music seriously?
About 4 or 5 years old. I was a really loud kid. It's amazing to think, it's hard to think. I was a loud kid, but I was. And so I was in Sunday school one day, just being loud. And the little old lady that was a Sunday school teacher, Omi Johnson, I still remember her. She took me out of the class but didn't get on to me. Instead, she taught me how to sing shape notes. She taught me how to sing harmony. And I sang harmony I've been singing harmony with beautiful ladies ever since.
What about your guitar? When did you start playing the guitar?
Started playing the guitar at about 7 years old. That's just, before then, I had a little toy guitar. And I would pick it up and pick out tunes on the TV. I remember the Colonial Bread commercial. I remember picking that out. And so that was probably my earliest remembrance of the guitar. My daddy went to Chattanooga, Tennessee, at the Cotton Furniture Company, where you buy that cotton picking furniture and not the building. And he bought me a little Barth guitar. And I played it for a little while, and when he saw that I was going to be serious about it, he bought me a Yamaha guitar. And that's how I got started.
So are you self-taught, or have you ever taken lessons?
I have taken lessons. Yes, I took about a year of lessons, and I really enjoyed that because I got a lot of theory as a young boy, and so I do play by ear as well.
What about your songwriting? When did that start?
That started at about 7 years old as well.
What does a 7-year-old have to write about?
This is the song that a 7-year-old writes about. When the boy leaves are falling, that's a definite sign to fall. Grass turning brown, the breeze is getting a little bit colder now. Old Jack Frost coming out of his den, gonna nip you on your nose. So you better be sure this fall and wear a lot of clothes.
That is so cute.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Obviously, church has had a great influence on your music. So tell us about your next song.
I think I'm going to play for you a song called The Rock House. Now that's a song that was written about a little old church on Sand Mountain. Now, back in the 1800s, going into the 1900s, folks in the mainline churches started speaking in tongues. And when they did, they got kicked out of the mainline churches. So they built them a little church in the middle of a field. And they had services there on Sunday mornings. And the folks from the mainline churches would come and throw rocks at them. Now, this was a little white clapboard church. And instead of getting all hurt about it and crawling up under a rock and dying, folks here in the South, when bad things happen, we either write a song about it, name something after it, or write a book about it. And so they named their little white clapboard church the rock house in honor of those hateful rocks that were thrown at them. On Sand Mountain it stands on a rural piece of land, a church simple in design. A people chose to pray and the Spirit-led way soon started a war unkind. While good folks prayed and cried, angry folks stood outside, ready with their rocks in hand. Rocks of hate are no good, that little church stood, 'cause you can't tear the rock house down. No, you can't tear the rock house down. The church will stand where the faithful are found. No matter what they have in store, our cornerstone is the Lord, and they can't tear the rock house down. When you choose to live this way, you face battles every day. Stand firm, His love won't let you down. The world throws sinful stones will leave His church alone, but they can't tear the rock house down. No, they can't tear the rock house down. The church will stand where the faithful are found. No matter what they have in store, our cornerstone is the Lord, and they can't tear the rock house down. On Christ the solid rock I stand, all other ground is sinking sand. All other ground is sinking sand. And they can't tear the rock house down. The church will stand where the faithful are found. No matter what they have in store, our cornerstone is the Lord, and they can't tear the rock house down. No, they can't tear the rock house down. Tear the rock house down.
Let's talk about how you found your way to Memphis.
This is how I got to Memphis. I was living in North Carolina as an agricultural editor, and my late wife found an old house in Henning, Tennessee that she wanted to turn into a bed and breakfast. And so that's how we got to Memphis. We came to Henning first and had a house fire. Before we could do that, a house fire destroyed everything we'd ever had. And around that time, I took on caring for my father with my late wife for the last 2.5 years of his life with Alzheimer's. We moved to Memphis just about a couple of months before he passed away. And we had been doing music the whole time together. I had a 16-year honeymoon with my wife. Oh my goodness, it was great. When we were on stage together, it was like we were having a public affair. People would blush when we were on stage together because our voices just blended that well. And I never took my eyes off her while I was singing. That's how I got to Memphis.
Cecil, that's a really sweet story about your wife, and we are sorry for your loss. How does she continue to influence your music?
I think just by being around. When I lost her, I was out in Montana. I went out there to be with her daughter, who told her mother that she wanted me to come out there to make sure I was okay. And a couple of nights after I got out there, after driving all the way across country, I'm sleeping. And she comes to me at night and touches my knee and says, "You're going to be all right." So the music that I play now is inspired by everything around me, and she plays a big part of that. Where does the sun go at night? And when does the moon rise? And where does the spring come from? After its long, long sleep. For without this night, my heart wouldn't melt from the passion sun goes down, it reflects the love you shine on me. A smile in the morning starts a day. Like the breaking of the dawn, it lights my way. Your words stay with me throughout the day. You are the sun, I am the moon. We are the words that you say. A smile in the morning starts a day. Like the breaking of the dawn, it lights my way. Your smile stays with me throughout the day. You are the sun, I am the moon. We are the words that I say.
What other musical influences have inspired you over the years?
One of my earliest memories of a secular musician, I guess, so to speak, was Johnny Cash. And so when I learned how to play guitar, that's what I had in mind. Because my brother had bought me the Folsom Prison Blues album. Now, my mama did not allow me to listen to anything but gospel music up until I was about in the 7th grade. Now, I made up for it in the 7th grade. But before then, everything that I listened to was basically coming from church. And so, but my brother, who was 13 years older than me, bought me this Folsom Prison Blues album for Christmas. So she couldn't just throw it away. What she did was she vetted it. Every time Johnny Cash said a cuss word in Folsom Prison Blues, that album, she put a scratch in it. There's a lot of scratches in that album.
That's fun. That's fun. What else influences your music?
I think just listening to people talk. I love to listen to people talk. I picked that up early in life, going around with my mama, who would take a chair about like I'm sitting on right now. I call this today, in honor of Sleepy John Estes. I call this my Sleepy John Estes honorary chair, and I'm getting to sit in this chair today. And so she would take me and my guitar in this little chair and take me to her little old friends. My mama had a lot of old friends, and so I would be like I would have a captive audience from about the time I was 6 or 7, and so that's how I a lot of the things I did was just basically listening to people, and that carried on in my writing, just maybe asking a question or two and get people to talking about themselves.
So what's the next song you're going to play for us?
I think I'll do Dreams in Colors.
Is there a story about Dreams in Color?
Yes, there is. I think I was down in Louisiana with a rice farmer, and I was interviewing him and about his dreams, about the dream that he has, and so he had his little girl with him, and when he mentioned his dreams, his little girl spoke up and says, "Daddy, I dream in colors," and we talked about that, and that's where that song comes from, and also it comes from the fact that of just not allowing the day-to-day black and white, the this or that, the yes or no, to dictate everything, to dream in vivid colors. She's in the breeze that echoes through the trees. She's in the turning of the shadows that follow me. She's the daytime in the nighttime that beckons me to dream my dreams in colors that are meant to be. Her dreams, she dreams in colors, colored by the seasons she writes. Her schemes, she schemes in colors, bright enough to dim the morning light. Dreams, she dreams in colors, colored by the seasons she writes. Her schemes, she schemes in colors, bright enough to dim the morning light. She's in the breeze that echoes through the trees. She's in the turning of the shadows that follow me. She's the daytime in the nighttime that beckons me to dream my dreams in colors that are meant to be. Dream my dreams in colors that are meant to be.
Thank you again for joining us tonight. We are talking with singer-songwriter Cecil Yancy. Cecil, let's tell folks how they can learn more about you, how they can find you on the internet if they want to hear more of your music.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Cecil Yancy on Facebook. That's CecilYancy. Why? Because I love you. Thank you so much for looking me up on Facebook. Also, if you're in downtown Memphis, Tennessee, get on that Backbeat tour bus and I'll take you around town for a 90-minute private concert. I'll tell you all the stories about Memphis music. I'll tell you about old Carl Perkins from Jackson, Tennessee. I got on my blue suede shoes today in honor of Carl Perkins, and then I'll do all kinds of songs about Elvis, oh my goodness, about Stax, and anything from gospel, rockabilly to soul. They're on the Backbeat tour bus. Now, also on WV, as in victory, ZM.org. It's a radio station at 100.3 on your FM dial in downtown, good old Memphis, Tennessee. I do a show called The Johnny Cash Show with Cecil Yancy. 7 o'clock Friday nights and 7 o'clock Sunday nights. Also, you can join me Sunday mornings, every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock for songs that soothe the soul. That's where I just have my guitar right here and some old-time gospel music that I grew up with. No telling what we'll get into on that hour-long program where it's just me and my guitar. Join me 10 o'clock every Sunday morning. Songs that soothe the soul on WVZM.org. Thank y'all.
Obviously, you're a full-time musician now. How did you choose the songs you were going to sing for us this evening?
Some of the songs just came to me this morning. I was thinking about my wife this morning, just how grateful I am to be able to say that I had a 16-year honeymoon, and also to be able to wake up every morning and breathe the air that God has made for us, and work on everything that I can work on to become a better person every day, to leave a legacy of music, to leave a legacy of joy. Each day I'll do a golden deed by helping those who are in need.
That's a great mission, and I know you bring joy to everyone you meet. And I have never actually seen you when you didn't have a hat on. What's the story with the hats?
Oh, the hat. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I love this hat. I love hats. I love hats. And I just, there's like a fellowship, a brotherhood with men who wear hats. You just going down the street and see somebody that wears a hat, and you just call out to them, nice hat you got on. You got a nice hat too. And this hat I started wearing, I guess a long time ago, it had to be about 20 years ago I started wearing a hat. The first hat I ever had was I was auditioning for a band in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Well, when I had finished about 2 or 3 songs, the guy got up from his drummer kit and went into his house and got a hat and put it on my head. And that was the way he was telling me that I had the job. And so when I was out in the field interviewing people, I just had on this hat, and it had so much exposure to the sun that the brown hat turned green. And so my wife, she would always refer to me as the guy in the green hat. And that's the story about that hat. I always wear a hat on performances, and most of the time always have a hat on. If I want to go incognito, I'll not wear my hat.
And none of us will recognize you. So what's another song you're going to play for us?
I think I'll do this song called Blue Moon Baby. That's a song that my wife and I wrote together. She woke me up about 2 or 3 in the morning one night, and she had written a song, completed the entire song, just the lyrics, and she said, "This sounds like a bluegrass song. I don't do bluegrass, but I know you do bluegrass. If you can put a tune to this." And so she kept me up till about 4 or 5 in the morning, and I came up with this tune. And she said, as I was reading these lyrics, she said, "Now I'm not saying this song is about you, but this song is about a non-committal man." And so when I was dating my late wife, I dated her for like a year or so, but before I had met her online back in 1998, I'd also met another lady at church. And so I was dating Linda at the same time I was dating this other lady. And Linda, she said, "I know you're dating somebody else." And I said, "How in the world do you know I'm dating somebody else? You live 70 miles away from me." And she said, "Well, because you're walking around like you're somebody." And so I said, "Okay." And she said, "Now, I think we're meant to be together. I think we'll be great together. But if I can't convince you of that, I'm not going to try. So you just go ahead and have your blonde thing. And if you come back, it'll be meant to be. But if you don't," and this was the kicker, "I wish you well." I could not get her out of my head. This is a song. It may or may not be autobiographical, but it's called Blue Moon Baby. It's a song where this guy, this non-committal guy, I don't know who that is. He's telling this lady, a man like me will marry maybe once in a blue moon. And this lady winks at him and says, "Well, I'm your blue moon baby." A man like me will marry once in a blue moon. Well, maybe you winked at me and said, "I'm your blue moon baby." Love left scars, I know this heart of mine. Took me by surprise with the look in your eyes. A man like me will marry once in a blue moon. Well, maybe you winked at me and said, "I'm your blue moon baby." Your smile broke through like a full moon on the sea, shining light, you're getting to me. A man like me will marry once in a blue moon. Well, maybe she winked at me and said, "I'm your blue moon baby." A man thinks he knows what he knows, yeah, that's true. But one kiss from her, all my moons have turned blue. a man like me will marry. Once in a blue moon, well maybe. She winked at me and said, I'm your blue moon baby. She winked at me and said, I'm your blue moon baby.
I've asked you before what category you put your music in, what kind of musician you considered yourself, and you gave me a really good answer.
You know, I think I would say it. The music I intend on doing is music that brings people joy, brings people happiness, that leaves the world a little better place than the last time I opened my mouth.
I think that should be an official genre category.
I think so.
And we'll say that you were the inventor of that category. You were the pioneer in that category.
Pioneer. This is a pioneering area anyway, you know. This is a really pioneering area up here in Brownsville, Tennessee. I got the beautiful Tina Turner right here. I'm in the memorial chair of Sleepy John Estes, and I have wonderful Sonia right here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. What song are you going to do for us next?
I think I'll do this gospel song that I wrote when I was about 19 or 20. It's helped me along my journey. In the stillness of the night, you can hear it. And the noise is loud and clear. A voice so far away and yet so near. A gentle path leading down to waters flowing. And it's so good, yes, it's so good, just in knowing that He's there all the time to give you peace of mind when the storms of this life are blowing. And even now I can see His lovely face in the form of amazing grace. The joy of rising in the morning, just to see a new day dawning. Oh, the sunrise makes me see things oh so clear. And just like that, when God comes back, great rejoicing. If we can say, truly say, that we've known Him. Yes, He's there all the time to give you peace of mind when the storms of this life are blowing. And even now I can see His lovely face in the form of amazing grace. And even now I can see His lovely face in the form of amazing grace.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. I hope that you have enjoyed Cecil Yancy as much as I have, and I hope he's brought a smile to your face, probably a belly laugh or two as well. So please join us again in 2 weeks for the next Songwriter Spotlight right here from the West Tennessee Delta Heritage Center in Brownsville, Tennessee. So Cecil, it is always so much fun to have you here with us. I hope you will come back again soon. You've told me before that you write a lot of songs on the fly, that words just come to you and you start writing them down. You actually wrote a song today. Any way you can share that with us now to play us out with?
That song, you see a lot of rain in your life. And everybody says, well, I'm not feeling good today. I'm not feeling good. But there's a thing that's in rain that causes things to grow. And even when it's raining, it's a good day. And that's something that is stuck with me. And I heard it again the other day, and so I jotted it down. I said, that's a good line. Even when it's raining, it's a good day. Well, since I just wrote it, I'm going to have to look at the lyrics here. Reminded of that time Elvis sang a song that they just handed to him, and he has it on stage with him. This is called I'll call this thing Even When It's Raining. Even when it's raining, it's still a good day to sit in liquid sunshine and wash your blues away. The blues can't last for long when it's singing a song. Even when it's raining, still a good day. Oh, they tell me of an uncloudy day. Oh, they tell me of an unclouded sky. Even when it's raining, still a good day. Splash around in puddles like a little babe. Cover your face in ice cream like it's the first time you taste. Even when it's raining, the blues can't stay for long. Even when it's raining, you're